What's up, guys? This is Sean Bime checking in on the road. Just finished up at the gym, heading to the chiropractor. Wanted to shoot another video about parenthood to hopefully help you guys, hopefully help you women through this journey. Our experience, it does seem like it is not a one size fits all. Everybody says there's no book on it. There are lots of books, but your experience might be different than the book you read, is what we have been going through currently. So I just did the last video of the first week where we had a lot of problems, challenges with my wife's milk dropping early, and you can go back and watch that video. But basically it came quicker than we expected. We weren't ready and we didn't really know what to do, so it created a lot of issues. So once we ended up going to a breastfeeding center. I highly recommend finding somebody in your area. There's got to be somebody, unless you're in the smallest, super small town. We live in a small city and there's only one person. So I would have to imagine somebody in your area. Find a breastfeeding center if you are breastfeeding. It just helps to have somebody that is just so knowledgeable on this journey versus you having to try to figure out everything on your own. So we went to the breastfeeding center a couple times, got a lot of help, and our son was born in the winter. It was super cold, so we didn't want to keep going because it's just freezing out. And my wife looked up and said that they can have the babies, like wind can take their breath away. So we didn't want to keep exposing him to 10, 20 degree weather. And so the second week was going pretty good, and then week 2 to week 4 things did not go well at all. We don't really know what happened, chicken or the egg scenario, but my wife's milk production went down dramatically. Why, we don't know. We thought our son was eating nonstop and just always pissed. And we didn't know why. We thought he was eating a lot. She looked up and found stuff on called cluster feeding, which basically just means eating a lot, like he's going through a growth spurt. But in reality, he was not getting much milk, because when we went to the breastfeeding center, they will basically weigh your kid before and after, at least the one we go to. So after feeding for like over an hour, he only got a little over an ounce of milk, which is not good. So the 2 weeks leading up to that were just absolutely miserable. He was pissed 24/7, screaming, basically because he was freaking hungry and we didn't know. And my wife was in a ton of pain trying to hold him. Her nipples getting beat up, and just the pain of holding, some 8-9 pound baby basically all the time. So the biggest things I would suggest through this process, and I'll post a link, is we had a scale where you can weigh the baby before and after to see how many ounces they're getting, and we did it a couple times, and then we just made the assumption that it would just keep going well. And I had an old high school football coach that would say, you know what assuming does? Makes an ass out of you and me. So it was rough. It was easily the worst 2 weeks for all of us. And it could have been remedied if we just would have used the scale. If we would have used the scale a couple times, at least we would have saw that he wasn't getting much milk. And then we would have went to the breastfeeding center. She would have gave us advice, and then we would have been able to help figure things out. So the scale is the first thing that I would recommend. We ended up trying lots of different foods to try to help her production. And I don't, I'm gonna post one thing. We tried a lot of stuff, and she still does a lot of stuff. Like, you can just Google and fats come up, like, to help the milk be more like satiating, because it's fattier, so helps it basically kind of last longer. So she eats a ton of avocados. There was another product that we got from the breastfeeding center that I think worked, but the biggest result, and a lot of women do say this, is electrolytes. And find the one that works for you. A lot of people recommended Body Armor, which I think did help. Solent again. I'm going to post some, but I think it's really listening to your body, because when my wife, she doesn't really drink fruity stuff. Like, she's not really a big sweets person. So she kind of stopped drinking them for a couple days, and thankfully she was in tune with her body, and she noticed that her production went down within like 48 hours of not drinking those electrolytes. So the electrolytes are the biggest thing that she notices that helps her milk production. She also got some lactate cookies that do work. I'll try to figure out the recipe for that and post that as well. So lactate cookies worked. Electrolyte drinks definitely worked. The scale, I would say, is super, super helpful. Those are probably the biggest things that we learned, like week 2 to week 4, that would have made life a lot better for all of us involved. Hope this helps. Have a great day, guys.